What's up guys, my name is Ace, and it's time for another state of the game sort of a video for Call of Duty Vanguard. The game has now been out for over a month. We've got our first season that just went live, and I'm seeing a lot of very mixed reports and experiences in the community, so I wanted to talk about this today. Now, just to be crystal clear at the beginning to avoid any potential confusion, this is a video about Vanguard. Not Warzone, I'm not talking about Caldera or the Warzone integration or anything like that. This is a video all about Vanguard's multiplayer. And one of the big things that I've been seeing floating around a lot, I've had a lot of people coming to my streams and saying this, or anytime I tweet about Vanguard or upload a video about Vanguard, I see a lot of comments saying that this game is a completely unplayable mess. And to be completely honest with you guys, that just hasn't been my experience at all. And you guys can see this for yourself very clearly if you come by my Twitch channel. I stream this game several times a week, and I generally have a great experience with it, despite the obvious issues. I'm not denying that there are issues. I'm just personally not experiencing anything with the gameplay that I would consider to be unplayable. Some frustrating bugs here or there, absolutely. Some things that need some work, definitely, for sure, and we're going to be talking about that today. But I'm currently just feeling really disconnected from a lot of the people that will show up to my Twitch stream, for instance, mad at me for playing this game, being really upset that I'm even playing the game, because in their eyes it's a completely unplayable mess. Well, literally right in front of their eyes, I'm in the middle of a game having a great experience with next to no issues. Now, of course, at the same time, just because I'm not experiencing issues, that doesn't mean that there aren't people out there that are experiencing issues. And I think this is a good time to go through a list of the more serious issues that I've been seeing floating around in the community. Even if I haven't experienced them for myself, I do want to talk about a lot of the issues that other people have been experiencing. And I am going to be focusing on the things that actually impact the gameplay experience. I'm not going to talk about every single little menu bug or glitch. I'll leave a link to a Reddit post down below that has a compilation of over 100 bugs. But as I went through that, many of those bugs I will literally never see because like they're relating to stickers or something in the game, which I just don't care about. I care about the gameplay experience, and that's going to be the primary focus of this video. And the first set of issues I want to talk about are the issues that have already been acknowledged by the developers. Some of these already have a fix scheduled, other ones they're just investigating right now. This is all found on the Trello board, which again, I will leave that link down below. But I'm just going to fly through these ones because there's no point in really ranting and raving about issues that have already been acknowledged and are already in the process of being worked on, because me ranting about it won't get it fixed any faster. So the first thing here is camo challenge bugs. They've got a huge list of camo challenge bugs that people have been experiencing where they simply can't complete certain camo challenges. So it looks like they're going to be getting on top of fixing a bunch of those in the near future. Also, the packet burst issue. I've seen lots of gameplay clips with people having big issues with this. Again, this is something that I guess I'm just like one of the lucky ones. I haven't really experienced any noticeable packet burst issues. Like I might see the icon pop up every now and then, but it's not something that's like massively impacting my gameplay. I honestly wouldn't even notice it if that icon weren't enabled. But that's something that they are continually investigating, and apparently they've already made some improvements in that area, at least for some people. Then the care package physics. I've seen a bunch of videos about this as well, where the care packages come in at an angle and then they bounce. Those things are made of rubber and they often bounce off the map. That's been there since the beta. Honestly, that probably should have been fixed before launch, but I guess it just wasn't a big priority of theirs. Then people are experiencing various texture glitches. I had one particularly bad texture glitch that I haven't seen yet since the Season 1 update. I'm crossing my fingers here, but you guys have seen it in my videos over the past month or so, where it's like a spotlight is following me, and it just makes the game look pretty bad. Like I said, I haven't seen that lately, so it looks like they're at least working on those issues, and they have made improvements for some people in some areas. Then when it comes to spawns, they basically just said they're continually working on spawns. They are still making spawn adjustments. And that's good to hear because this is still one of my bigger gameplay related complaints. I mean, it's not as big of an issue if you use forward intel because you can just see where enemies are spawning every time they spawn, but it would be nice to not have to rely on forward intel and instead just have much better spawn logic that's easier for good players that know what's going on to predict and control. After that, there is a riot shield bug that was introduced in Season 1, and people are able to straight up just shoot through your riot shield when you have it in your hands, and obviously that is a pretty big gameplay related issue if you are going to be using a riot shield. Until this fix comes, obviously the solution is just don't use the riot shield for now. After that, the mortar barrage placement. This has been really rough, at least on controller. I don't know how it is on mouse and keyboard, but I just stopped using mortar barrage at the beginning of the game's lifecycle because it's really hard to place down that mortar barrage, and it's good to see that we should be expecting a fix in the near future. Then it looks like there are still some crashing issues with the Daniel operator. If you use one of Daniel's skins, this is crashing people's games like crazy. So if you're experiencing a lot of crashes in the game, make sure you're not using Daniel as your operator. Try a different operator, and that should resolve that issue for you. And then finally, when it comes to the really important bugs and issues that they've acknowledged on the Trello board, this is the server snapshot errors. And apparently they've already put some fixes in place to improve this. However, I have also seen that some people are still seeing this server snapshot error. And when it comes to this one, I did notice I only ever experienced this while playing Blitz. Not once have I experienced a server snapshot error in the tactical game modes. So if it is a serious issue for you that you're experiencing constantly, maybe try some tactical game modes. I found that they run very, very smooth in relation to Blitz. But yeah, there's our initial list. These are the things that the devs are actively working on and actively tracking, and it's great to see that. I hope fixes come sooner rather than later, of course, but we'll just have to keep an eye out for those ones. Now let's get into what I consider to be the more important section of this video. These are the issues that I at least haven't seen officially acknowledged by the developers. It's not on the Trello board as far as I can see right now. And I did go through and pick the ones that I feel are really important to be mentioning. These are the ones that are going to directly impact the gameplay or the grinding experience. The first one is something that's a really big issue, but so far at least it looks like it's limited to just the Xbox platforms with controller players. I haven't been able to replicate this at all on PlayStation, and I've tried to. But with this is a flickering name tag issue that is apparently causing aim assist issues. So aim assist is working really inconsistently suddenly after Season 1 because these red name tags are flickering. And what I suspect is going on here is it's not the flickering that's causing the aim assist issues. Instead, I believe the root cause for this is there's some sort of a clipping issue with a character model or something going on in the map that is making it look as though the enemy is behind some sort of cover inconsistently because of this clipping issue, which when an enemy is behind cover, aim assist should be disabled, and therefore anytime that red name tag flickers off, this means that aim assist isn't working in that moment. And when it comes to this one, I honestly don't know how widespread this is on Xbox. Maybe you guys could let me know your experience in the comments down below. If you are on Xbox, have you experienced this red name tag flickering issue and like a sudden loss of aim assist after Season 1? But in either case, I have seen the clips of this. It's a real issue, and this is an issue that hasn't been acknowledged yet by the devs, to my knowledge at least. So hopefully we can get some acknowledgement on that soon. After this one, on the new radar map, which is the remake of Dome for Modern Warfare 3, there is a problem spawn point. The devs, I'm sure, are well aware of this, even though I didn't see it on the Trello board, but I'm sure they've seen the clips. There's one particular spawn point that will just continually spawn you outside of the map, and then you'll just instantly die. Like, you spawn under the map and die instantly, and this can happen over and over and over again, so obviously that one needs to be fixed. I'm sure we'll see a fix to that fairly soon. Then a fairly widespread issue that people have been experiencing is just issues keeping parties together. If you want to play with your friends, sometimes it just seems really hard to keep that party together so nobody's getting kicked and then everybody has to back out and try again. Or when you party up with certain people, it seems like matchmaking just takes forever and it never actually puts you into the game. There's actually one person in particular, a friend of mine, Tiger. Every time I try to play with him, it seems like matchmaking takes 3 or 4 times as long if we can even find a game at all together. But the moment he's not in my party, even if I've got a bunch of other people in the party, it's no problem. I find a game basically instantly. So definitely some issues there that need to be worked on. This may be relating to another issue that has been reported since the game launched, and this is a lot of people are experiencing a moderate NAT type when they're used to always experiencing an open NAT, and they've got all the appropriate ports forwarded, or they've got their console even in a DMZ, and they're still seeing a moderate NAT. So as far as I can tell, at least, this does appear to be an issue on Sledgehammer's end, or on the server's side, not on the player's side, at least in many cases. Next up, there's a bug I've been hearing about since the game launched, and this is an FOV bug, where for some reason your FOV gets like reset back to 80, or in some cases even all the way down to 60, when you've got the setting much higher than that. And again, this is one I haven't personally seen for myself, but I have seen some video clips of this. And apparently there is one solution that I've seen posted online to this. I can't remember who it was from. It was just a random clip that I watched. But essentially, if you experience this FOV bug where you suddenly have a very, very narrow FOV, if you get yourself killed and watch the kill cam from start to finish, don't skip it at all, apparently that can fix your FOV bug. I don't know if this works consistently or not because, like I said, I haven't experienced it for myself, but it is worth a shot. If you run into that FOV bug, just try and watch a kill cam all the way through and see if it fixes it for you. As for the next fairly big issue that people have found, mainly Sour, I want to give a big shout out to Sour. He's been doing great work when it comes to weapon XP testing. He's discovered, especially on smaller maps, it seems like there's some kind of weapon XP throttling going on, where you actually cap out at a certain amount of XP, or you get significantly less XP over time as you get more and more kills. And it just seems really inconsistent and hard to reproduce as well. So we don't know if this is an intentional thing that's designed to prevent people from leveling their weapons up too quickly, or if it's just some kind of a bug that's going on. We really don't know what is happening for sure here. But in either case, it is really frustrating to see inconsistencies with this, because when it comes to grinding our weapon levels, this is something that directly relates to the gameplay, because it affects how quickly we'd be able to unlock better attachments for our gun. And it's frustrating to see inconsistencies here. Now, to my knowledge, like I said, I think this only applies on the smaller maps like Shipment and Das Haus. I don't know if this has been confirmed on other maps. It's been very consistent for my testing on other maps at least. But yeah, it seems like there are some weapon XP issues when we're playing on the smaller maps. And with that, that pretty much wraps it up for the most important bugs that I've been seeing floating around in the community that would directly impact the gameplay experience. Like I said, for most of these bugs, I personally haven't experienced them at all. And just for context, in case you guys are curious, I do play the PS4 version of the game on the PS5. That's so I can use my SCUF controller, by the way. But yeah, while doing that, I've only noticed a small handful of these issues that I noted in today's video, but I still feel like it's worth pushing out there, putting the pressure on, and hopefully we can get some acknowledgement on the issues that I mentioned today that haven't been officially acknowledged yet. Outside of that, like I said, there's a bunch of other little bugs and stuff, most of which don't really impact the gameplay experience. And yeah, of course, hopefully they can get on top of many of those, but the ones I listed today, I believe those should be the priority at the moment. And outside of those bugs, like I said, I'm having a great time with this game. Sure, I don't agree with every single gameplay design decision they've made. I'd love to see score streaks over kill streaks. I'd love to see some perk rebalancing or restructuring as well. Maybe some weapon balancing here or there. But despite those little issues, I'm still having a blast with this game. And you guys can see that for yourself if you come by my stream sometime. I stream this game quite a bit, and I'm having a really good time doing it. And I just wish that more people could be experiencing the game that I'm experiencing, because like I said, I feel kind of disconnected from those people that are saying that this game is completely unplayable. So yeah, there we have it. That's the state of Vanguard so far, based on what I've seen in the community, as well as a little bit of my experience injected in there. I think if they can clean up a lot of the issues that I mentioned in today's video in a reasonable amount of time, then we can start getting into the nitty-gritty and the nitpicky things, the little balance issues, the little adjustments and things that could be made to fine-tune the experience even more. But before that happens, I think the main priority should be fixing the technical issues that many people in the community are experiencing, so they can have that consistent experience that I'm personally having, because I want everybody to experience that. And with that, this is where I want to hear from you guys in the comment section below. What is your current experience with Vanguard's multiplayer? Are you like me, where the game is generally running fairly smoothly, maybe with a few bugs and issues here or there, but for the most part, it runs nice and smooth and everything is just fine? Or are you experiencing some serious issues? And if you are, please let me know what those issues are specifically, and also what platform you play on. I think that's very important to include alongside your issues, so maybe that could help the developers track down the root causes of these issues, and we can get a fix for them sooner. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.